Right, how do? The topic I want to talk about today, disciplining kids, raising kids, and your points of views. Rebecca Howland gave me this idea. Well, she didn't give me the idea. I pitched it to her. She started laughing. So it's given me more incentive to actually do this video now, to prove that I can actually do a serious topic instead of me just goofing around. So yeah, I mean, for instance, the cane. Bringing back the cane. Is it a good thing, a bad thing? Your points of views. I found a video on the internet, done back in 2007, the right stuff, who did this topic. There was a study done, and the results were that
last week suggested discipline in schools had deteriorated since the cane was abolished, while a Time survey found 46% of parents supported corporal punishment.
Yeah, so 46% of parents were in favour of corporal punishment. And deterioration in schools has continued to deteriorate since the cane was abolished. I find that staggering.
Colleen Nolan, who claims she wouldn't mind her kids getting a good hiding at school, if they deserved it, of course. And she went on to say that if a teacher did give them the cane, she would go in and shake his or her hand.
Yeah, so Colleen would like her kids to get the cane if they deserved it, which I think is fair enough. If a kid did deserve it, then of course, give them the cane, or deter them from doing it again. And if they keep doing it again, the more they get the cane. The more they get the cane, the more they'll start thinking, now then, if I do something bad, I'm going to get punished for it.
But, of course, we don't beat murderers, killers, muggers, thieves or rapists, but half the nation's parents want their own kids beaten with one of these. I find that bizarre. Maybe the cane would lead to fewer kids getting into trouble, eh?
Yeah, so we don't beat any criminal, but half the parents in the nation want their kids beaten with a cane. Now maybe that's because they don't want their kids turning into criminals. Do you ever think about that? Which is why we don't bother beating criminals. Because they're in jail, they've been caught, they are receiving punishment. It's not much of punishment, I know.
But it wasn't really the cane that kept us in check. It was the threat of the cane, because it did.
Which I do agree with. So, it's like anything else. The threat of physical violence is more effective than the actual physical violence. So, I do agree with that. I mean, teacher reaches for the cane, they all instantly shut up, or stop what they're doing, or behave. So, in that sense, I do agree. The clip goes on to say,
people do the most horrific things and they get put in prison with their televisions and snooker and all that. It's nonsense. That's my feeling on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so people do the most horrific things and they get put in jail with the TV, snooker, and anything else. So basically it's like a big yard where you've got a little cell that you sleep in, and then for I don't know how many hours a day you get to basically do anything inside the confines of prison. I mean, this woman, oh my god, and you can tell that she's a mother straight off the bat. I mean, she goes on to say how
and also the idea of bringing back something like that is just completely outrageous. It's a totally backward move and a terrible idea to hit any child.
Yeah, so it's a completely backward move. And a terrible idea to hit any child. What, any child at all? What, so if a child comes up to you, hits you across the bloody back with a baseball bat, then what do? Well, that's okay, I deserve that. There are some kids in the world that deserve to be hit. And we're not talking physical violence, we're not talking fists fucking in the face. We're talking about a wooden stick across the back of the hand. I mean, in the olden days, your dads did a lot worse to kids. I mean, they took their belts off and walloped them with a belt. So, I mean, that's fucking abuse. I mean, hitting a child across the back of the hand with a wooden stick is not really abuse. It's appropriate punishment for misbehaving.
And that to bring this back is to make us barbarians again. And some of the best behaved children in the world, the UN report showed, are in Scandinavia, where they've banished these beatings for much longer than us. When we hit our children, whether it's as parents or as teachers, we do so because we've lost control.
Now, I don't know about you, but when a teacher canes a student, it's not because she's lost control, it's because the kid has misbehaved. That's the concept of caning. It's not to establish order, it's to punish misbehaving. So, really, she's talking a lot of bullshit. And as far as Scandinavia goes, well, they abolished beatings. Caning across the back of a hand is not a beating. A beating is with fists or with any part of your body hitting a child or somebody repeatedly and not stopping. That's a beating. This is a caning. It's like 1 or 2 hits across the back of a hand. I mean, again, your fathers did a lot worse back in the olden days with a belt. Now that was a beating. So really, she's talking bullshit. And I'm sorry, but I just disagree with that whole statement entirely. Barbarians? Really? No. But anyway, your views, I'd love to hear them. What do you think? Are you for, against the cane? Would you like to see it brought back? I know it's probably too late now, but I just thought it'd be an interesting topic, and I'd like to hear your views. So, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them. Your views, call it the question of this video. Are you for, against the cane? Would you like to see it brought back? I'd like to know what you think. So, enjoy, take it easy, and look forward to the next video. Thank you.